What's up, man? These last 2 months, really the last 4 months, really, but I'm gonna just say 2. It's just been a lot of it's been a ball of confusion, man. Mentally, it's just been a ball of confusion for me. Excuse me. I don't really get to express how I feel a lot, mainly because I avoid it. Secondly, really because nobody asks, nobody cares. And thirdly, I really don't be knowing how to talk about what I'm feeling. Eating peanut butter right now. So I guess this is gonna be my first attempt, and what I'm feeling is, one, confused. I feel out of place. I feel like a lost cause. I feel like I don't want to be on earth. I feel worthless. I feel hopeless, sad, broken, discombobulated. I feel like nothing. I forgot if I already said confused or not, but confused, distressed, feel a lot of tension. It's really just a whole lot going on with my mental right now. I want to say this all started for me when I started losing people. If I can say there's anything I'm used to, or that I've gotten, I'll never be used to it, but if there's one thing I've gotten numb to, and I can eventually predict, or I can eventually know what's gonna happen, is me losing, whether it be money or an idea, connections, jobs, losing motivation, losing hope, just family, friends. I've got numb to losing. I'm not saying that to say I've become accustomed to it or anything, because like I said, I never get used to it. But simply because it started so young in my life, I never really got to fully understand what it was like to lose something or someone that's close. I never understood how close these factors were to me internally, and I never really understood the effect it was taking on me, and it later would take on me. But I was able to see how it was affecting people around me. Just to give a brief window of what I'm getting at here, I lost my granny, my mom, and my dad, back to back, 2010, 2011, and 2012. All before I hit 10 years old. The summer of 2012, my mother passed away. I turned 10 that July. I think my granny was October 2010. My dad was November 2011, and my mom was April of 2012. So the video that I uploaded, it was the anniversary of my mother's death date. That's why I titled the video that. I cried, bruh. I cry when I don't think about the stuff. So when I do think about the stuff, it feels like a storm, when it gets to, and this is I'm not nonverbal, but when it comes to anything I'm feeling, or when it comes to anything about me, I try to just put it on the back burner because I never want to become a burden to anybody. I never want to become anybody else's problem. And I really don't want anybody looking at me as if I need help. Which may be true, but I never wanted to make anybody feel like my feelings was their responsibility, you know? Because I'm feeling the way I feel on the back of things that were and still are inevitable, you know? So as I get older, Ali Sadiq said this, people don't really understand how loss affects us. Nobody ever really had these talks with you. Nobody really ever tells you the stuff that can happen and will happen on the back end of these things. And as far as my case goes, all I heard people asking me was, are you okay? I didn't cry at my granny's funeral, I didn't cry at my father's funeral, and I didn't cry at my mom's funeral. Not there. Eventually I cried afterwards, but not there. With me being the baby on both sides of my family, I'm 24 now, but looking back on that, those situations were never handled correctly with me, you know? Those situations were never handled with me. And my family's big, so I would just expect more of a blanket from them than my outside family or people that I call friends or just strangers, because I can say in the past, I've got more love on just that short than anybody has showed any concern about me within the last, I want to say 10, but I'm gonna just say 5 years. I'm reflecting on it a whole lot now because I still feel the same way that I've been feeling. I'm trying to come to an understanding of why I'm feeling this way. The more I spend time by myself, it starts to feel like this is how I was meant to be. I can remember in 8th grade, I was having counselors come up to me trying to get me to open up to them, letting me know that it's okay and I didn't have to bottle up what I was feeling. But in reality, I didn't know how not to bottle up what I was feeling. I didn't know how to talk to these people to tell them how I'm feeling. Because I'm the only person I know my age that has my deck of cards. Not saying that I'm supposed to have or somebody else is supposed to have the same deck of cards as me, but I'm the only person in my age bracket that has been through what I've been through as far as my knowledge. My whole life I grew up people telling me how strong I was and how much of a soldier I was, and I never really understood why they said that. But as I'm getting older and I'm realizing how many missing pieces I have, all the important things that I wasn't taught, all of the little experience all of the little experiences that I didn't get to have, it's starting to feel like much more of a void because I'm getting older, and a lot of the stuff that I was supposed to get would really help me in these days. Not saying that I don't value the time I did have with my folks, but I've been coming to realization that a lot of the building blocks that I was supposed to have at this age to help me stay positive in times like this, to help me move forward, I don't have. I was chilling with Twin, I was chilling with Black, Mo, and Low. We was all in a circle just kicking it from the black crib. And that was the first night I actually met Lo. So Lo had came over and he was just crying. He was bawling, crying. But he was still able to talk. You know, he was still able to talk to us and express his feelings and shit. He had just lost his peoples and whatnot. And he was just going through it, and Black joined in and I ended up joining in. And it just became like we just started expressing the shit. And Twin was just expressing how he was so blessed, you know, to still be able to, you know, have his core in his life, you know. I give him so much praise because his people treat me like, you know, I'm one of them. And I reciprocate that because I gravitated towards them, and they really gave me love that I was missing. I will forever and always cherish them. From his family, his granny, mom, pops, brothers, sisters, all that. Like, I consider them my family. That night, it came to be a night that I needed, but also in reality, it just made me look back on all the shit that I was missing, you know? People just don't know how much of a toll those type of losses take on an individual, whether it be male or female. Those are the pieces that you actually need. Those pieces are accessories. Those pieces are essential to, you know, you growing up to being the great person that you want to be and that they see you becoming, you know? I'm not suicidal or anything, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't feel like with them would be where I belong. As I say time and time again, I always feel like I wasn't supposed to be here, you know what I'm saying? I was living on borrowed time, all that type of shit. Like, I really feel that way. People get tired of being strong, man, and I'm one of those people. I just know I can't, like, when I'm in a funk, I cut off the world, you know? When I'm in a funk, I go mute, like, I try not to talk to people. I just don't want to become a burden to anybody at all, because on top of what's going on in my head, I still have real world shit to deal with, and that I'm still coming up short with, you know? And whether it be me being one step closer to being homeless, or not knowing how I'm gonna feed myself for the night or the morning or the day or even the day before, it definitely makes me feel like it made me feel like giving up, man. Like, honestly, what trips me out the most is I'm the one that knows how to process this shit least out of all of my people or my siblings or anything. Like I said, I'm the baby, so I would never expect it took for me to have to reach out for a motherfucker to know that I need help. Especially when I'm not showing this shit, because I lost so many people at such a young age. I didn't know how to comprehend what the fuck was going on, you know? But to this day, I see my friends with their parents being able to do stuff with their grandparents, and, you know, still be able to call their dad, call their mom, all this type of stuff. Obviously, I'm happy to see it because it's a blessing to still have them in their life, but a small part of me, not even a small part of me, but a big part of me is like, damn, you know? Like, I still have that type of feeling. I still have that type of connection. I to still have my people be here, man. I give my life for them to come back, but then that would make no sense because I still wouldn't have them. So when I say I want to be with them, I really mean that, because I know if anybody had the answers, it'd be them. And I'm not really big on prayer. Like, I've been to church. Obviously, I've been to church, but church was just never like, I was in the church young. I never understood what church or the word really was trying to get at, but I'm starting to need something, you know. I don't believe in Jesus. I believe in a higher power, but the start of the whole planet type shit. Like, I'm one of those believers. You know, Jesus Christ isn't just who I go to if I go to anybody. I go to the gods and the goddesses, you know, the Orishas and whatnot. That's the level of, or that's the lane of belief I'm in, personally. The short that I uploaded, I've gotten the most love in the past. I can't even put a time on it, man, because nobody talks to me on those type of levels, but it takes for me to express how bad I would be wanting to myself, but I'm just not strong enough to do it for a motherfucker to ask me, hey, are you okay? Or not even ask me, am I okay? But just to show some type of concern. And of course, y'all not gonna know what the hell going on in my head because I'm the youngest, man. It's a lot going on in my head. Some people wouldn't even expect me to be having these type of thoughts because when I'm around, I try to be either quiet or I try to enjoy my stay. Never try to overstay my welcome, but as long as I'm in the moment, I try to enjoy it. I can say I started drinking at 19, and this is really 2026 is really my first official like breaks. Like, don't get me wrong, I've drank in the year 2026, but like, I want to say the month of March and April have been like the most driest I've been when it comes to alcohol. I haven't even been smoking. I haven't been sipping no drink. Like, I just ain't been doing none of that, you know? Because I just know with feelings like this, it's only going to lead me down a darker path. And like I said, I've been thinking about doing some shit to myself. Like yesterday, me and my brother was on the roof of the library. We just walked over to happen to see who was in the park, but I'm standing next to him. He talking about this a nice ass view, and the first thing I thought about was jump. Like, the first thing I thought about was jumping, man. And I put that on my kids, like all 4 of them. I put that on my kids, man. The first thing, like my brother, my brother in my video, like he came over and he lifted my spirits. But even then, with him just chilling, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't have did no shit like that in front of him, but like I said, I'm not strong enough to just take myself out this shit. So when it comes to being strong, I know at least I have that much strength. The only thing that replays in my head whenever I get those type of thoughts and feelings is Crip Mac. Never commit suicide, everything gonna see all right. And I'm not a Crip or nothing, but that's just verbatim of what he say. Those affirmations, for real, I stand by those affirmations. I just wanted to reflect on this post because I deactivated my Facebook for my mother's death date. I didn't really want to see anything. But man, like, if you just happen to see me cry, man, like B said, man, just try not to notice it, because it's going to come out. And it always comes out when I least expect it. So when it does, just try your best to just, you know what I'm saying, just try not to acknowledge it, because, you know, I'm going to get through it, at least the crying part. I really ain't been able to dodge these thoughts, but I gained the courage enough to check out some mental health books. Powerful Habits for Overcoming Anxiety, Big Feelings, How to Be Okay When Things Are Not Okay. This is by Liz Fosling and Molly West Duffy. Romantic Jealousy, Understanding and Conquering the Shadow of Love. This is by, I don't want to say her name wrong, but I'm going to just pronounce it Ayala M. Pines, PhD. Free Yourself from Fears, Overcoming Anxiety and Living Without Worry. Joseph O'Connor. I'll really tell y'all why I got this book in particular, because I've been trying to get a whole lot of romance books too, but I really just don't want to oversaturate my brain because I really haven't been picking up books my whole life. But this certain funk I found myself in, I figured books are the only way to like expand my brain and, you know, just weed out all of the negative thoughts I've been thinking. Yeah, I really just wanted to, you know, bring one of these videos again. Where I am mentally, I say I'm at a standstill, at a crossroads. You know, I don't know which way to go. I still feel like I'm on the edge of the world by myself, and I'm crying for help without crying for help, you know. But I guess I really have nothing to complain about as long as I still can wake up in the morning. But even that still don't be enough. I die in my dreams a lot. Anytime I have a dream, that is. I do want to give a shout out to Cam Haynes, who had commented under this post. This is actually my childhood friend. Like, we went to school together and all that. And I've always looked at Cam as a big brother. You know, he was always cool. Anytime we see him, it's all love, it's all vibes. I took his comments to heart, you know what I'm saying? Because actually, I know him personally, so even though I didn't comment under this post myself, I took his words, you know, and he's always been a good person, in my perspective, you know what I'm saying? He's always been a good outgoing guy. Me personally, I watched his glow up, so you feel me? I'm actually proud of my guy. Where I'm at mentally, man, I really don't know. But this vid already 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it and come at y'all with something else tomorrow, man. Not only are these books keeping me afloat, but I've been able to vent on this here YouTube. I haven't been able to make music or make any reactions or anything like that how I want to, so for the most part, I just be in my own bubble. You know, my brothers is the only people that fuck with me, but even they be having their own shit going on, so I don't be wanting to become a burden to them either. I'm about to sit here and just probably watch a movie, probably play the game, probably just scroll on Facebook. I'm gonna just try to do something to keep my mind off of everything I'm thinking about. Still eating peanut butter. I'm gonna try to stretch it for this peanut butter until my brother bring me the care package he said he'll put together for me. So I love y'all if y'all love me. If y'all love me, I love y'all, man. Let me get at y'all in the next one.